Hi guys, we are back with another one, and what are we going to talk about in this video? We're going to talk about what Mommy read
books
in August. Books. This is true. We're going to talk about the books that Mom read in August. And then we're going to have a little special gift and a special section where Cole felt really inspired to tell you guys about some of the things that books that he just got and what he wants your kids to know, maybe that are in a similar age range, what they could be interested in recently. So let's get the boring stuff out of the way, which is my stuff, right? Yeah. So the first book that I read in August, I have to be honest with you, August wasn't my best reading month. We had a really, really busy month. Lots of friends over the house, lots of running around to do. We even went away. We went to go visit our uncle and aunt and family in Maryland. So we were away a little bit. We did the weekend at the casino. So I was a little bit distracted for the month of August with a lot of family stuff. So I only read 4 books this month, but I am okay with that because we had a really good family month, right? Where I focused on family stuff, and he's out of here. So the first book I read was The Score by Elle Kennedy. I believe I gave this book 4 stars, correct? I gave this book 4 stars. This is the 3rd book in the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy, and this book follows Allie and Dean. I am not going to give too much of a synopsis about this. These are kind of interconnected standalones. You don't really need to read all of them, but like characters from other books and their situations kind of do pop up sometimes. But this book follows Allie and Dean and their love story. So that was a good one.
Love books suck.
Love books suck. We don't like love books?
No romance.
No, why not? Is it corny and cringy?
Yeah.
I bet a 9-year-old boy would think that.
I read love.
I love love. I love love books. I love love. So, the second book I read was As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This was kind of my month where I was picking up a lot of series that I had started and not finished, and I wasn't trying to finish them, but I was just trying to make some progress. So the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy, this is a huge series. I believe I'm staring at it right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 7 books in this entire. They're over on my romance shelf right there. I believe there's like 7 books in this series. And this is the 3rd one I'm on. So I keep hitting the shelf.
7.
There's 7? Oh, thank you, my lovely assistant. So I keep hitting the shelf and I have to relax, but, that is a huge series. This is the 3rd book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. This is like a murder mystery thriller series.
I could tell.
Yeah, but you want to hear the coolest part about it? This book's main character, her name is Pippa, aka Pip.
Pip-Lup!
Kind of like Pip-Lup. Insert a photo of Pip-Lup here, that you love him.
Just pop him in your hand.
Okay, hold your hand like this and we'll put Pip-Lup in your hand. There you go. That's the Pip-Lup. So Pippa is a high school student and she solves a bunch of crimes and mysteries that have happened in her town. And guess what state she lives in?
Connecticut.
She lives in Connecticut. It's a fictional town called Fairview, which obviously doesn't exist. We do have a Fairfield, right? We do have a Fairfield, but we don't have a Fairview. But this is a fictional town in Connecticut. It was kind of cool because sometimes they make like references to Connecticut of places that we know, like we actually go there. Bad news though. Did Mommy like this book?
No.
No. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't like, so like horrible books would be like a 1 star or even what's called a DNF. Do you know what that's called?
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
I've seen that before, but I don't know what it means.
Did not finish. So a DNF in the book world is a book that was so bad, like you didn't even want to waste any more of your time finishing the book. Mm-hmm. So you just stop it, put it down and say that book's not for me. So this was not a DNF. It wasn't even a 1 star. It was a 2-star book out of 5. That's not great. Like 2.5 is average though. It's not horrible, but it's not great. Honestly, the thing that made me the saddest is that this was the 3rd book in the entire series, and this is it. Like, there's going to be no books, and this is how we went out on my least favorite book. Controversial opinion, my favorite book in the series was the 2nd one, which a lot of people like the 1st one. I did not like this. This book was kind of a mess to me. It just, the whole entire thing kind of fell apart. You good, bro?
It's in my mouth.
Okay.
It was stuck in my teeth and I had to pick it up.
That's cute. That's what we love in a video. We just love picking in our teeth and spitting on our hands. It's boys for you. So there really wasn't a ton that I actually connected with in this book. The first thing I want to talk about is that the pacing was an absolute mess. I was bored for like over 3/4 of this. How many pages did we say this had? 450 page book? 449 page book. I was bored for well over 250 pages of this book. The pacing was an absolute mess. Like, you'd get a couple of paragraphs where like you kind of got intrigued, and then it was like 100 pages of literal nothing, and it was not good. It was not anything where you could stay on track with your thought process. Also, the characters made some seriously stupid decisions. The ones that literally made me like put the book down just like in frustration. Like, why would you ever do that? Like, you've always been such a smart girl or such a smart character, and then in this book it kind of fell apart. The ending was beyond ridiculous. I did not like it, but here's another thing I'm going to say. The most important thing, there was no like intellectual consistency, stylistic consistency in this book. One of my favorite things about this series was what I kind of like to call, it used like a mixed media approach, meaning the other books.
No, just let me sum this book up in 3 words. Not 3 words, but a couple words.
Okay, Joe Biden. I'm going to sum this up in 2 words. Go ahead.
So, this book is about a girl in high school that lives in Connecticut and she solves crimes. Boom! With stupid decisions. Boom.
Only in this one. The other 2, she made pretty smart decisions, which is why it was so confusing, because I was like, what happened? Did she get dumber? Like, what?
Didn't survive.
That's the next book. It's right there. 5 survive. It's right there. 5 survive.
5 instead of 5 and surprise. 5
I think that book is about 5 friends that go on a road trip and their car breaks down. No, 6 friends that go on a road trip and their car breaks down, and only 5 of them survive. 1 of them dies.
In their car crash?
I don't know. I'd have to read the book to find out. Anyways, we digress. One of the things I loved about the first book and the second book was what was the style choice that Holly Jackson used, is what I call a mixed media approach. And what that means is it wasn't just like straight words on a page. She would have like drawings and diagrams and transcripts and texts and like things that would interest you, and it was between the chapters and made the book just like fly by, and I really liked that. And in this book that totally fell apart. There was just really none of that, and it's what I came to expect from the series, and I just think it was a poor stylistic choice to change it in the last one. Don't shake the shelf. Where is the professionalism?
I'm not making it so it doesn't.
Don't shake the shelf. So yeah, this one was a no-go for me. This one didn't do anything for me. It's so heartbreaking to me that I think that she's going to end the series in a book that kind of did not blow my mind. So, okay. As Chloe said, enough ranting about that. All right, the third book I read was Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is like an interconnected series. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
What does it mean?
A series that keeps going on in books.
You're really close.
So, like, books that have to do with each other. So, one book has to do with it, and then it continues to the next book, and then it continues to the next book.
Exactly. So, basically what it means is that you're going, in each of the books, you're going to meet characters that are going to come up in the other books. So, this book is about, the girl's name is Hannah, and the guy's name is Fox. Which is kind of silly, but... Clarky! We had a dog. We had a little Pomeranian named Clark, and we used to call him Clark Fox. Should we put up a picture of Clark? Clark! So...
Insert photo right here.
Yes, insert photo of Clark. So what that means is that when you read the first one, that's about Piper and Brendan, and then when you read about Hannah and Fox in this one, Piper and Brendan come up. Hannah is actually Piper's sister.
Wow,
I really liked
shocker.
I really liked this. This was another of Coley's favorite genre, which is romance. So it's another a sucky love book. I gave this, I believe, a 4.5 stars on Goodreads. Tessa Bailey kind of has not disappointed me yet. Her books are really, really fun. Her dialogue is sometimes a little cringy. It's a little bit rom-com-y, like a little bit slapstick humor, like the girl is always falling down and stuff like that. But like if you go into it appreciating her style, you're very hard to focus with. It's going to become the Cole show, much like other things. But if you go into it appreciating Tessa Bailey's style, you come to expect it. It's a cute little rom-com. It's a cute little
imagination.
It's a cute little rom-com. Don't take it too seriously. It's a really good palate cleanser between like basically when I came off of this that I really just didn't like, I needed a book that was just going to be like a solid. I like Tessa Bailey's writing. It's nothing too serious. So this was a 4.5 stars. It was really good. Okay. Now the last one, and then it's the Cole show, okay? Ooh, I keep shaking this shell.
That's the Cole show.
Cole show. Okay. The fourth book that I'm actually going to finish, I'm not done with. I know my thoughts on it more or less though. I believe I have like 130 pages or something left. Which
she didn't finish it.
Such a bad. Wait a minute, it's the 28th. There's the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. I have 3 days. I will finish this. I'm probably going to finish it tonight.
Boo!
But still, what if I'm recording this and I might have to pop in as future editing Lindsay if I finish another book in 3 days? Do you think I could do it? You guys gotta stop bothering me. And stop having friends and plans.
Oh, friends.
Friends. Imagine that. So anyways, so I am in the process of finishing Addicted for You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the 3rd book in the Addicted Calloway series. And like I said, I'm not going to discuss too much because I don't want to give it away, but this is another book that's following Lily and Lo and their lives after addiction. That's basically all I'm going to say. This series, honestly, it has a really good like found friend group. I'm really liking all the surrounding characters. That's not true. I'm not liking them. I'm saying I'm liking the found family, but I actually don't really love any character except for Lo. They're all kind of annoying and insufferable in their own ways, but I'm starting to understand the series because the 2nd book in the series for me was like a major dud. I really honestly hated it. The 1st book was decent. So this, so far, I'm not done with it yet, but so far it's giving like 3.75 4-star vibes. So, all right. So, Cole, wait a minute. Why did you ask me to jump in on my August TBR video?
For kids to know what books they wanted to choose or see if any.
Well, where did we go today?
Barnes & Noble.
The motherland. The best place on earth. We went to Barnes & Noble. We went to Barnes & Noble today, and Cole picked up how many books in total?
3.
3 books in total. And Cole is 9 years old, right? Yeah. And he asked to join this because he would like to talk about the books that he picked up, what they're about, and why it was something that he wanted to take home, because he knows that some of my viewers might have kids around his age and might want to hear. What if like all my followers are like, thank God Cole came on the video because my 9-year-old's been looking for a book. So which one do you want to do first? Just take it away. In fact, I'm just going to drink my drink. This could be the easiest day of work ever.
I don't know how to pronounce that word.
This is Charlie Thorne.
Charlie Thorne and the Last Equation.
By
Stuart Gibbs.
Stuart Gibbs, hold it up so the people can see. Ooh. You're getting a close-up. Okay, so what is this book about?
This book is about decades ago, Albert Einstein devised an equation that could benefit all life on Earth or destroy. If fear would happen if the equation fell into the wrong hands. He hid it, but now.
That's a toughie. That's a diabolical group.
Diabolical group known as the Furies is closing in its location. In desperation, a team of the CIA agents drags Charlie into the hunt, needing the brilliance to help them find the first, even through this meaning placing her life in grave danger. in a breakneck
In a breakneck adventure. Do you know what that means? Like a fast-paced adventure.
that spans the globe. Charlie must crack the complex code created by Einstein himself. Struggled to survive in the world where no one can be trusted and fight to keep the last equation safe.
Wow. So what genre would you consider this book to be?
It's kind of like a mystery, but also kind of like thriller.
Yeah, like a mystery thriller, like adventure?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what made you want this book? Like, what drew you to it?
That it has a lot going on. And it's more interesting than like all the other books, because all the other books are like blah blah blah, a girl falls in love with a person, blah blah blah.
You're really getting this love thing.
400 pages later, still the same thing.
Love is a little monotonous sometimes, you think?
Yeah.
So you're more into like the active thriller, which makes sense because you're a very active thriller boy.
Yeah.
You're a very breakneck adventure type of guy.
And I have one book, and it is also very good. If this book is like 400 pages or something around there. The book that I read was called Houdini and Me by Dan Gutman.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite books right now. It is about a kid trying to live Houdini's life and seeing his ghost as like his idol. As like his idol. Houdini's his idol, and the ghost comes to live his life for 24 hours.
So they switch?
Yeah.
What?
So
does he live Houdini's life as Houdini is a ghost, or when Houdini was alive?
When Houdini was alive.
What?
Yeah, and it was like 213 pages, I think.
And that's your favorite book yet that you've read?
Yeah.
Ooh, we gotta find one that beats it.
Okay. The Swifts, a dictionary of
Scoundrels.
By Beth Lincoln. And yeah.
It won an
illustrated
award.
by Claire Powell.
Claire Powell, yep. And it won an award, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty cover.
Okay. Alright. Is this part of it?
Lincoln mixes hidden rooms and no. Read that. That's where it starts. Shenanigan.
A year ago, Shenanigan had begun her map. It was a bold attempt to mark down every concealed nook, every hidden pathway, every hiding spot in the house. Most people would have to say it is impossible, but Shenanigan wasn't most people. Shenanigan had plans for that treasure that changed and shifted around to her mood and always an improved adventure.
Always involved adventure. Okay, let's hold this up.
Adventure.
So why did you... Shenanigan, first of all, is a very funny name.
Well, it's a strange family.
It is. So why did you pick this book?
Because, first of all...
Yep. Say it, because I do the same thing.
I like the cover.
The cover. You want to know what they call that?
What?
It was a cover buy.
Yeah.
It means I bought it because I like the cover. And that's marketing. That's a good job because they created a really cool cover that sucks you in and makes you want to read it. I agree. Let me hold it up so I can see this amazing cover.
I saw it when I was looking at books, and then that was the one that was 20% off. So I looked at it and then started reading it. The other one was romance.
Oh my
god!
So wait, so it has a great cover and it was on sale because that matters.
And it just sounded like a good book.
It does sound like it was a good book. And actually, I was reading when he brought it up to me and he said like, oh, I think I want to get this. I always like just double check them. And it says, on the day they are born, every Swift child is brought before the Sacred Family Dictionary. They are given a name, and a definition. A definition, it is assumed, they will grow up to match. So I'm assuming that's why she's named Shenanigan. They're given a name, so they thought she was going to be like mischievous and full of shenanigans. So that's really cool. And it's a hardcover. And what's your third book?
So I know our mom told me this was a very popular book, and it was buy one get one, 50% off. So that's also why I got this book. Mm-hmm. It is The Wild Robot.
I've seen this book a lot.
Peter Brown.
I like the cover on that one, too.
When Robot Roz opens her eyes for the first time, she discovers that she was alone on the remote wild island. She had no idea how she got there or what purpose is, but she knows she needs to survive after battling the fierce
storm.
Fierce storm and escaping the hold on.
This one's a tricky one because it's not a hard say. It's
vicious.
Good job.
Vicious bear attack. She realizes that her only hope for survival is to adapt to her surroundings and learn from the island's unwelcoming animals, inhabitants. As Roz slowly befriends the animal, and the island starts to feel like home until one day robots mysteriously past come back to haunt her.
Wow. So it's like it's like a survivalist, like futuristic, like robot.
Also, it's kind of like thriller.
Yeah, kind of like thriller. You kind of go for like the thriller adventure books, which like I said before, really makes sense because Cole's kind of an adventurous little guy.
If I like this book.
Oh, is there a second one?
It's the second one.
What's the second one called?
Escape.
The Wild Robot Escapes. So there's a sequel to it that if you like this one, we could pick up the sequel. So why did you go for this one?
First of all, it's a popular book.
Yeah, it is. I've seen this book.
I've heard it's good, and it sounded like good. It sounded good. Mm-hmm. And
so you read the back and you were like, oh.
And also, if I don't like this, the second one can make more you can make up for the first one. If the second book, I think that there might be a third.
Maybe we'll have to look up. You want me to look it up?
Yeah.
All right. So which of those are you going to start with? Do you think? Or are you going to what kind of reader are you? Like, are you going to read the first chapter of each one and try to figure out what you're vibing with, or do you pick one?
I always do first is the longest.
Oh, you start with the long. Ooh, he starts with page number. That's an interesting strategy.
This one is.
There are 3. So look, the Wild Robot Escapes, and the Wild Robot Protects. There is a third one. Oh, can't see that.
This book is, I think, $3.92.
Oh, you're figuring out which one's $3.92.
The Swifts, which, if this doesn't go, if this isn't good, I'm gonna give Barnes and Noble a swift kick in the butt.
Oh my god! I don't think it's Barnes and Noble's thought. You should give.
This is like 300.
Who's the author on this? You should give Beth Lincoln a swift kick in the butt. Love you, Beth Lincoln.
That one's like 200. Oh.
No, I bet you it's over 200. I love the pictures in this book. There's pictures in the Wild Robot. It's really cute. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is like, I'll have to show the camera. This is kind of like the Wild Robot has what the first 2 Good Girls Guide to Murder had. I'll show you in a second.
208.
Let me see that.
218.
So look at this. This is what I was talking about. Look as you're reading the book, there's like pictures, and let me find what you were showing is like at the end of the book. Like, look. Pictures, like, to me, this is really interesting when you're reading. Like, I like turning the page and seeing that.
And then
Look at this.
This is all that's in, Charlie, Thor, and the Lost Equation. It's just,
Yeah, I mean, I most books I read don't have like pictures and page breaks and text messages and stuff like that. But sometimes it's when you come to expect it in a series, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
when it all of a sudden you get to the third one and they just stop doing that. I didn't love
There's
that.
like two. There's like.
Oh, there are pictures. Oh, that one looked like a pretty picture in that one. Oh, and I love the page breaks.
I think it's the discovery of the dictionary.
What does mommy like in her books?
Maps.
Maps. I love a good map in my book.
Yeah, look at it. Right here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, I think she died.
She died or like fell down?
She died.
Show the camera the picture. This is the Swifts, right?
Yeah, so that's probably the thriller of it.
I love that.
And like, that's why she's trying to solve the mysteries, maybe.
There you go. So, do you think that people could maybe take a couple? And you even gave one that was like off camera. So like also Houdini and Me. So I read 4 books and you recommended 4 books.
Yeah. I actually have one upstairs too. Another one.
What book?
I forgot what it was called, but I know
He's coming back. He has
Okay.
another recommendation.
Okay.
Oh, he returns. What is that book called? Oh, yes.
I read like 170 something pages of this.
So you didn't fit. Boo!
This one,
Boo!
yeah, it's 280 pages.
Tell the people, what is it?
Well,
Well, what's it called and who's it by?
It's Miss Frisbee and the Rats of
Nim.
Nim.
By Robert C. O'Brien.
What is it? It is about Miss Frisbee, a
Widowed. Do you know what that means?
or what? No.
A widow is somebody whose husband died.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
So
know.
when you're married and your husband dies, you're a widow.
A widowed mouse with 4 small children must move her family to their summer quarters immediately or face almost certain death. But her youngest son Timothy lies ill with a pneumonia.
Mommy and you have both had this.
What is it?
It's when your lungs feel really tight. You had walking pneumonia.
Pneumonia.
It's a weird word. It starts with a P for no apparent reason.
And must be moved. Fortunately, she encounters the rat of Nim, and extraordinary
And an extraordinary.
breed of highly intelligent creatures who came up with a brilliant solution of her
Dilemma.
dilemma.
So you read, it's a total, oh, you were almost there, dude. So
Yeah.
it's only like 220 pages and you read like 177?
174.
174? You should finish it before you move on to something else. Do you remember what happens in it? Or would you have to start over?
I would have to start over.
Yeah, sometimes I do that too. if
I
put
read
up-
it in 2nd grade.
Oh, okay, so this could be good for a little bit of like younger kids?
It's also one of those books where it's like, it's a long book, but the words are big.
The words are big, so it goes quick.
Same with Houdini and Me. It's 213 pages, but this book, these are the small letters.
That's for bigger kids.
400. This was in young adults, I think.
Young adult. That's very cool. Well, thank you for being in my video. Are you going to start a book channel?
I may be getting paid. I better be getting paid.
Yeah, put it on your tab.
Alright, bye.
Bye. Well, thanks, guys. He's out of here. That's enough. I'm amazed he sat that long, to be honest with you. Well, that was a little bit different. I'm so excited. I really, here's the thing. I'm a mommy first. Well, I'm a wife first. I'm a mommy second. And I really just want to foster a love for reading with my kids. I truly believe that fostering a love of reading and watching me read as a mom, I really think I'm giving them a good example and that they'd want to carry on with it. So today when my son asked to go to Barnes & Noble and get books, my little reader heart fluttered. And I was like, yes, of course. I will never say no to that. So that is what I read in August. And also I hope you took some of my amazing assistant Cole's recommendations. And I hope if you have any kids that you're either love to read or trying to get into reading, and encourage their love, that somebody that is their age, even if you want to tell them, hey, listen, I heard somebody recommend this book. Hearing it from someone their age is sometimes a really good way to start, because he is the best testament for what interests a 9-year-old active little boy. So this was a short and sweet one. I have something really cool planned on coming out in a couple of days, picking my September TBR. So I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.